Okay, now I want to talk about the HelpingHands.cash Conversation Guide. How to start conversations that start curiosity, understanding, and participation. Let's make it easy for all of us, right? Because the purpose of a conversation is not to convince. Absolutely not. The purpose is to connect because people are far more likely to listen when they feel heard. And then great communicators ask questions. Most people talk too much. I'm guilty of that. So I speak by experience. The best communicators ask questions. Questions create curiosity, and curiosity creates engagement. Now, let's start with people. Before talking about helping hands.cash, let's talk about people. If I talk to someone I haven't talked to in a while, I'm definitely not going to talk about helping hands.cash up front. Like I reached out to a friend here who I haven't seen in maybe 2 years, and the last time I communicated with him was last year. And I reached out to him to see what he's up to. I said, bro, it would be nice for us to connect face to face. And then once, I know what's going on, then if I have an opportunity, I'll speak about what I'm up to. Actually, I'll wait for him to ask a question. So before talking about helping hands.cash, talk about people. Ask how they how are things going? What are you working on? What goals are important to you? There's a lot of people we haven't talked to in a moment, and definitely we want to know what they're up to. First of all, how's family? How's your health? How's everybody? And then, what's keeping you occupied? I haven't heard from you. You got something going on? So human connection first, everything else follows, right? So listen more than you speak. That's all for us, for me, for you, for everybody. So people don't care how much you know. They care whether you understand them. And let me say this, I want to understand the community. So it's not a one-way street. I want you guys to tell me what's going on. So they care, talking about people, whether you understand them. Listen, understand, then respond. And that's the way to go. Also, let's look for common ground because most people care about family. We all care about family, education, business, projects, community. So let's start where people already care about. So where they already care, and we all care about the same common goals. And let's create curiosity. Instead of explaining everything, let's try to say, I recently discovered a different approach to crowdfunding, or I've discovered what it's called the gamification of crowdfunding. And then pause. Give them time to digest. If they want to know more, they let you know more. If they change the subject, change the subject. They may not be interested right there and then. And don't information dump. Again, I'm guilty of that. A lot of my webinars, I've been information dump. And starting now, let's not do that no more. So let's avoid overwhelming people with blockchain, wallets, smart contracts, Polygon, DAI, matrices. Too much information too early creates confusion. Plus, I always say that you don't need to know crypto. You don't need to know blockchain. It's crowdfunding, and it's about your network and you. And so we got to keep it simple. There's an acronym, KISS. Keep it so simple, or keep it stupid simple, KISS. So let's use the 1 minute presentation that I've recorded and answer only what is it? How does it work? And what do I do? So those three simple questions will create powerful conversations. The first question is a simple, clear explanation. The second question is a simple, clear process, while the third question, simple next step. So we reference the 1 minute presentation, which is the shortest path to clarity. That's the fastest path to understanding. And stories are more powerful than facts, right? Information, information tells, stories sell. So facts inform, stories connect. So let's share experiences, share observations, share why Helping Hands.cash caught your attention, why I created it. There's a lot that we can share. So people don't remember facts. They remember how you made them feel. I hope I make you feel good right now. I hope you're liking what you're hearing. I hope you like the way I'm looking. Hope so. So a moment in your journey, what you observed, why it mattered, how Helping Hands Cash makes a difference. Like you see the lady here, she says, let me tell you a quick story about why this matters to me. And then also invite questions. A good conversation feels like a discussion, not a presentation. And we're going to have our discussion in a moment. Right now, I'm doing a presentation. So let's ask, what questions do you have? What questions do we all have? Curiosity opens doors and questions build understanding. I think right now, I think you guys are really liking this. And at the same time, we have to know when to stop. So we don't need to explain everything today, right now. We leave people wanting more. That will be how we do webinars going forward. And curiosity is powerful. So let's end the conversation, not the connection. Plant the seed, nurture the relationship, because really it's about relationships. Because today started the conversation, tomorrow continue the journey, and building trust, creating impact together, because more to discover and curiosity opens doors. So the next step, if they want more information, is sharing with them more presentation at that moment that really goes in detail. The world is changing, so is crowdfunding. It's understand the global shift that makes this the right time for a new model of crowdfunding. I think this is really the right time. Then we have the gamification of crowdfunding. So let's see how the gamification makes giving and growing more engaging and effective, where you also can receive, right? The Helping Hands.cash mindset. I'm going to do a presentation separate for the Helping Hands.cash mindset, which will help people adopt the beliefs and approach that drive impact and success. We have the playbook. That's our flagship video on our website. It's your guide to building, sharing, and growing with confidence. And the 1-minute presentation, a simple, powerful way to explain Helping Hands.cash in 60 seconds or less. I say start with the 1-minute presentation. Then, learn from the conversation guide. Then the world is changing, the gamification, the playbook, the mindset. The mindset is really for you. And then for all members, existing members. So everything you need to inform, inspire, and invite others is right there. So right information, right time, stronger conversations. That's what it's about. It's people join people so that people help people. Technology matters for real. Systems matters for real. Presentations matter for real, but people follow people, right? Because it's about relationships. It's people helping people. So we build relationships, we help others, we grow together. Together, we create more than a project. It's more than a project, really and truly. It's a movement. We create impact that lasts. I want this to last as long as it can last and beyond. People helping people. So the best conversations feel natural. Listen, be present, understand their world, connect, find common ground, build trust, ask thoughtful questions, show curiosity, share simply. I mean, we all do that. We share memes and stuff, share stories, keep it real, and then help, offer value, support their goals. And definitely when they're ready to join, support them in the onboarding process. Don't leave it in their hands. And then repeat, stay in touch, grow, keep growing together. One thing I will say is, don't invite someone and then leave them on their own. Like, actually, it doesn't mean you need to call them every single day, but make sure you follow up with them maybe every couple of days. They may have questions. They may not know how to ask you those questions, and be present in their lives, because we are a community. So this is the Helping Hands Cash Conversation Guide. And let me just stop this for a moment.